afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on Holotny Family. Between these, we got Fahu fighting here for the Oberkommando West Germany, Deutschland, the 20th Panzer Division, with Breakthrough, Scavenge, and Spare Corps, Triple Infantry there, versus in the West, we got Desman fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, and the 7th Tank Corps here with defensive tactics, conscript support, and Soviet industry with triple infantry frame as well. Special Rifle Command side here full up some conscript to ensure it doesn't fall too far behind in map control. Fahu with a full Grenadier, Kubelwagen start, moving ahead there to grab some territory as rapidly as possible. Desman will likely at least go for some penal troopers, and there might even be a scout here, which will certainly give Fahu's Kubelwagen in the early game some problems. If he does go for it, I mean, some players will also be known to go for a sniper instead. I mean, he could go for penal troopers, he could go for a mix of penal troopers sniper, go for scout car sniper. I mean, there's a series of options here that Desmond could will sort of go for. Sandbags up here to help defend in case Fahu actually managed to secure the house. In this case, can actually sort of threaten the house from this position, so that's some nice foresight. Barbed wire here, sneaking up, they're going in pretty aggressive in the south, though Fahu continues grabbing territory there, with the Kubelwagen being dispatched northwards. Strafbart there being slowly produced there for Desman to support him at the front line. We got more Volksgrenadiers there for Fahu. Barbed wire there as well. Noting Fahu hasn't done anything to make this a bit easier to defend for himself. Cheese bags. In this case, I think it's just unfinished sandbags. That's what more looks like. He could finish them, but he perhaps doesn't quite feel threatened. He can just do it later on, I guess, is what he thinks. Kuban continuing northwards there. We got the penal troops out there with the SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. He's caught here trying to lay down barbed wire by the Kuban, which immediately fires his MG-34. It looks like troops are moving northwards there. Full Grenadiers, second squad arriving. We've got the scout car down the way for Desman. Possibly in response here to the Kuban, of course, planned all along. Either way, it's going to give Fahu's Kuban there a bit of trouble. We got mine here. Nice spot there by Fahu. Folks, they need to keep moving. I think you're trying to assist the Kubelwagen here against a bit more dominance up north. Instead, we got a second Volkswagen squad moving in there. The other squad continues to remain inside the church. I think we'll be doing a bit more with it. You know, pressure up through here, go for the carve point. Just being held up now here with the Volkswagen and the Kubelwagen engaging. All people move straight into the mine. Oh, so close there, Zactitite. Quite a bit of damage. There we go. Full squad retreat here, suffering 2 losses thanks to the mine. That worked out quite nicely there for Fahu. But there we go. We've got the M3A1. Note here, he's taking a very, very far around path. He's planning to basically hit the Kubelwagen and in a pattern there that Fahu isn't quite expecting. Maybe sitting the conscripts in there. But they're going to be as close to being wiped here. Very close. Fahu will also manage here to cut off Desman's resources. We've got the Kubelwagen falling back. I think he just saw it. Quickly occupying the house, denying it to Desman in the process. Securing the cutoff point there. I think should move the other full squad to support here. Maybe might try and catch the engineers on the retreat. Hard to say. We can see Desmond though is going to try and see it get up here before he retreat. And Fahu in this case looks like he might be trying to predict it. He saw the poor condition of the engineers. He's going to try and aim for a wipe there. If he can get it, that'd be pretty great. But looks like Desmond's going to have a bit of luck here. Oh, he didn't have any engineers wipe. That's a definite victory for Fahu in the early game. He's also managed to get a nice chunk on the map though. Of course, the scout there's still going to be a problem. Plus further penal troopers down the road. But getting an early wipe here in the early game should certainly give Fahu a bit of extra to work with against Desman. As long as he doesn't do anything too silly. We got a track out here. There'll probably be a battle group headquarters there for Fahu. I think he should also consider going for a Kedem effort to help deal with it. That we should go for a Panzerschreck on the Sturm Pioneers, but with all the mines he's laying down, Panzerschreck in sort of any decent timing is not, I think, going to be reliable there for Fahu to count on. There you go, penal troops out the scout car. That's definitely going to require some anti-tank weapons there for Fahu to really have a chance against. It's definitely going to need it like Kedem effort. It's going to need a lot more mines, and so far there's none of that. Battle group headquarters going up. The Kuban's going to need some repairs, but he's not really doing that. That's part because the Sturm Pioneers all the way down here. Desmond though launching a pretty aggressive attack here against Fahu's cut-off point. Realising that Fahu's position is forced in such a manner he can't actually protect his centre. I think that's a pretty sharp tactical assessment there by Desman, and quickly throws Fahu into a lot of problem. You go up over here, defensive tactics for Desman. Sneaking up behind here, forces dealing with him. Squad here still doing nothing inside the house. He needs to, I think, get a bit more active. And there you go, battle group headquarters up. He goes for breakthrough. So both players here within the first 5 minutes choosing a doctrine. Another mine there. Fahu being a bit thorough there. Scout heading with the Volkskriegs there. We got flamethrowers now, and the northern forces here are now in a lot of trouble there for Fahu. He's going to have to retreat. Plus, again, they didn't help him defend his CoH points. That is less efficient there. Still no sign of Raketenwerfer there for Fahu, by the way. Still no sign of the Raketenwerfer. And there we go. Mine here, possibly help deal with the scout car. I mean, that could certainly throw Desman off a bit there. No medics there, but again, Raketenwerfer I think should be the priority here for Fahu. He could in theory also go for the officer, but with the scout car about again, he can quickly run into some troubles there. So we got medics, but still no Raketenwerfer there for Fahu. We got the Puma retreating. They'll be hitting straight into the mine. Had there been a lower health, there'd have been a small chance to think, oh, white, but in this condition, not like, maybe, no. We'd have to have another mine there for it to really work, but it doesn't. Need to get that CoH point back, though. We got more troops setting up, medics slowly arriving there for Fahu and the 20th Panzer Division. And there we go, we got the Panzer Fusiliers here, arriving to support with their Kar-98Ks. The SVT-40 was actually meant to be sort of the primary rifle of the Soviet army, but by the time the war hit, they didn't have enough numbers to really make it work, so they had to rely on the most on their guns. That's a little fun detail there. For all, they were sort of handed out where they could be. And for example, knew that some of the Soviet naval infantry division that formed up, for example, to help defend Sevastopol, were actually equipped with SVT-40 semi-automatic rifles, as a fun fact. We got a Duske machine gun there arriving for Desman. On the point, Victoria Volkskriegs engineers. Troops are reinforcing, healing, and Puma troops there slowly getting ready. Scout car rolling back, quick hit there, doesn't need to do anything else. Definitely not a bad idea there by Desman. Fahu fun being up Raketenwerfer. It does feel rather late when there is a scout car on the field that to only go for it at around the 7-minute mark, and Desman headed out there a lot sooner. But there we go, we got the Duske machine gun on the way there. Mine goes off, that kills more conscripts. Highlighting that, you know, sometimes the best place to mine is where we've already mined, and, you know, mine went off. Engineers standing about here. Fahu losing a bit more ground. Raketenwerfer almost done there. Almost, but not quite. So Otto, when do our G43s arrive? I don't know. When we get some munitions. Some munitions? What's that all about? I don't know, actually. There you go, Puma are getting blasted by a lot of positions, but at the same time the Volkskriegs are not able to use the covers, so they're out in the open, making it easy for the Puma to deal with them. Up north here, we've got the scout counting down the Volkskriegs. In the south here, point be secured. Dug in with sandbags as well. Nice bit of fortification work there by Desman ahead of time, and Duske coming from the church, quickly catching a lot of Fahu's infantry here and guarding them if he's not careful. Scout crossing with the north here. We got Raketenwerfer now though here for Fahu and the 20th Panzer Division in the south here, concentrating to the second mine, and are thusly much closer to death and forced to retreat. But Fahu's only been pushed a bit on the defensive here by Desman. Despite Fahu actually having the overall larger force, but that's really the power just having a very mobile unit like the scout car with penal troops, and it allows you to sort of gain local superiority where you want it, and again use it as quickly, use it to do a lot of damage and then pull back. So in that regard, Desman I think is displaying a sort of rather sharp tactical acuity here on the battlefield, and that is definitely making things harder for Fahu to deal with, since he doesn't really have the same level of mobility, which again for an aggressive faction which isn't sort of, you know, made like the Soviets, is a bit interesting. And it's always one of those weird things about the Oberkommando S. It just feels like he needs, you know, that greater deal of mobility. But anyways, Tango Battalion Commander up here for Desman. I'll probably assault on a T-70. In theory, he could aim for a half track, but a T-70 is more likely to happen. We got a second truck on the way there for Fahu. Early Schwer panzered quarters, most likely. And there goes Scout crossing it. There, Raketenwerfer finally ready. Just need to set up in time. Not in time. They're too slow, too slow. Always be careful about moving about into tank weapons too close, but too much. But there you go. Gets half the crew as well there with the penal troopers. Small victory there for Fahu, plus you can salvage this one for fuel. Penal troopers moving ahead, second truck arriving there. It's going to need a bit more time before we can set up the Schwer panzered quarters. Penal troopers moving forward. In the south there, we got Kubang doing a bit of extra damage support here by the Panzer Fusilier, who can be equipped here with the G43 package. And moving back there, T-70 away there for Desman, adding further pressure here to Fahu. Contract opening out in the Panzer Fusiliers. Quick steel hand grenade here could be quite nice, though I still think you should go for the G43s. There you go, steel hand grenade, pushing that into the open. Goes kaboom, but without really any sort of notable damage. And he's going for the mechanized regiment. It's a surprise move here by Fahu. Most players will not do this, but perhaps Fahu feels like he's forced to go for it, has some kind of plan. I mean, there's certainly a few sort of interpretation as to why Fahu is doing it. It's certainly not a bad idea, it's just not very common. Most players at this point will just try and, push ahead. But certainly, if he's feeling threatened by Desman, a quick pull for somebody within light vehicles he's worried about could be great. And could actually allow Fahu to gain some mobility and momentum back against his opponent. Got the T-7 rolling ahead. Going for the CoH point again. Fahu certainly back in a more aggressive measure here once he got the scout car down again, having less to worry about sort of getting hit in very nasty places. Can go for the Puma soon. He can actually go for it now. Demo charge here carrying the CoH point, spotted here though. There we go, set off. Still no Puma for Fahu. He should definitely get that one out as soon as possible. I mean, the longer he waits, the worse for him, the better for Desman. Rushing straight to the beta, going for some kills. There we go. Puma on the way. The 234-2. Which really wasn't that common. I mean, several reconnaissance battalions were equipped with it, but overall it's only sort of shorter run compared to the other versions of the 234. This is 234-3 and 234-4, which didn't really have any names, but they saw more usage overall until the end of the war, and were also equipped with bigger guns. Though of course they didn't have any turrets, so sort of more armoured car assault guns, if you will. And tank destroyers in the case of the one with a Pack 40. Still. Wreck scout car there. Not quite on the CoH point. I certainly experienced that one. Again, it's close there. For some reason, they refuse to stand on it. It's really just sort of another of those points of annoyance. He's found also equipment this Panzer Fusiliers with G43s. That one's really been too long there. But there we go. We got the Puma rushing hit there. 50mm gun and cracks machine gun there. Opening up on Desman's men. We got the Sturmpioneers attacking as well here. Pushing back Desman's troops. Defending the CoH point for the fatherland. We got the Druska machine gun turning up there. Puma firing away. Their troops out in the open. They're taking losses. More shots being delivered. There we go. We got the G43 equipped Panzer Fusiliers. They are already veterans who won. Penal troops out in the open. They expose targets. Could try an active flank, but there you go. Suppressed by the Druska machine. We got the Puma active moving ahead against it. Careful not to get Argo fire there. If he pops armor piercing rounds, it's going to be a problem for the Puma. It's an armoured car, not a tank. And there we go. Pops it, but there we go. Tactic suffering losses there. G43 equipped Panzer Fusiliers moving ahead. Kugelwagen, Puma, Fulters all firing. He's actually focusing down here. In this case, Desman might have pushed too far his luck, and oh dear, we could see what, which case Fahu could grab Duska and turn it against Desman. He's probably called in a heavy mortar there to support his troops, not a bad idea, but there you go, 4 kills on the Puma. And a heavy machine gun there, lost to Fahu. That's only going to hurt Desman there a bit. Puma there patrolling ahead now, heavy mortars are up there behind the sandbags, T-7 keeping close watch nearby. A bit more moon towards the north would be great here, I think, for Fahu. Assault rifles on the Fulton gun is also, I think, so nicely. And I think in this case, going to try and catch the T-7 with his Puma there. Bit of cat and mouse here. Except in this case, both have cannons. Just the cat's got a bigger cannon than the mouse. There we go, moving a bit out there. Might have made a mistake. There we go. Puma gets a good hit for taking hits from the T-70. Come on, Ludwig. I want to see it burn. Ah, scheiße. We have to pull back. But we'll see it burn someday. I know it. Big push here. Fulters need to fall back. He's again going for the CoH point there. Fahu certainly keeping up their consistency. But of course, Desman also been very consistent about hitting Fahu's CoH point. So, I mean, both players are really giving it all they can there. He could, in theory, try and outtake up. He could also go for looks or try and punish Desman's infantry. That'd be a bit more risky. He could also, in theory, go for another Puma. I mean, he's got a few options here. Fahu will, of course, have to see what options he does end up pursuing. Fulters moving ahead here. Still, Bala hasn't upgraded any of his Fulters guns with the assault rifles. I mean, there's no real downside to it. It's just a full-on upgrade. It increases the DPS at all ranges, short, medium, and long. So, I mean, there's not really any big excuse for not upgrading them. Over there, guy in the CoH on there. He's got Pumas advancing. Quickly, Sergey. Keep your head down. But not too much either. There you go. Puma just continues to fire away there. He is going for the looks. He's going to try and hit Desman's infantry, which is a bit exposed. I mean, a Puma that looks is actually a surprisingly potent sort of formation, actually. Which tends to get sort of, not really that used, but I think it's still pretty good. And there's the surge again, but this Oxen can only really bring up a T-34 from 6. It's not going to be hurt too badly initially. His opponent goes straight for a tank as long as he can then sort of gain dominance thanks to the Luke's Puma combo. Plus he's still got a Kedeneffer. I mean, there's some options here for Fahu tanks to pursue, and there you go. Got Luke's engaging the Puma troops, tearing them apart with this autocannon and coaxial machine gun. Turning into them. Destroying them. Golf bomb there secured. Eventually 18 kills, a lot of full gunners there. Got a bit of harassment up north using the Dushka machine gun. Very interesting. Got the looks of a T-70. Puma there being fixed up as we can't rush it in. But there you go. It should be ready now to move ahead for the fatherland. Also a bit of harassment in the south, but the Panzer is getting back territory there. And Conscious then in a bit of trouble. Rushing northwards with the T-70 engineers against the Dushka machine gun. Now in Fahu's service. There we go, coming under fire. He is being suppressed by the Dushka machine gun. He's getting Puma up there. He's pinned down to the ground though, taking quite a bit of damage there. That's the 50 caliber rounds, which is by what the Dushka fired. And the engineers said quickly make short work of him there. I think he quickly retreats. I think he hurt the Puma that at least saw it move ahead here from the conscripts in the church and decided he needed to get the hell out of there. So right now I think Fahu's actually got a pretty good chance to push it against Desman, who has ticked up. He can also soon go for T-34s from 6, but Fahu isn't completely, in a terrible situation to deal with the T-34. He's got the Puma, which can sort of deal with it. He's got like Kedeneffer, and in theory he could lay down mines. In fact, he's going for a Stecken Sturmpioneer squad, which could then secure him a Panzerschreck to outburst any T-34s. So, and it's not like he's in a terrible situation. In theory, if it all gets desperate, he could just call in another Puma. Of course, have to see what Fahu ends up going for here. Sturmpioneer taking a nice hit from the 120mm mortar. Puma there standing about. And T-70 then engaging Luke's, gaining eventually 2 in the process. Good work there by Desman, who's certainly struggling here with Fahu's sudden surge there in strength and power. Needs to be careful there with the looks though. Fahu, Vorsicht. There goes second Sturmpioneer squad. Will it be the Panzerschrecks? And he's flown a lot of munitions. No, he's going for more minesweepers, more repairs. I think he should go for a Panzerschreck in this case. I think he should go for a Panzerschreck. Just to assist the Puma in case tanks hit. In fact, they are going to hit. But Fahu seems pretty confident, I guess. He doesn't need it. He's grabbing the southern point there. Victory point wise, Fahu is quite behind Desman there. Puma rolling a bit back there. Also, fun fact, there was a field modified looks which actually utilized the Puma's turret. That's actually a picture of it on the internet. It was somewhere in, I think, Czechoslovakia in 1945. That's a little fun detail there. No, actually, that's the other way around. That was a Puma modified to have the turret of a Lux. I think there's a more official modification of at least one Lux that had the turret of a Puma, though. Little fun fact there. And of course, the more fun fact is the turret from the Puma itself came from another entire project known as the Leopard reconnaissance tank, which was scrapped. Folks, they're finding out the engineers. Got the T-34s from 6, they're rolling southwards here for Desman. This being the 1942 model, which was sort of the last version of the T-34s from the 6 before efforts went towards the T-3045. This was known as the Mickey Mouse turret, specifically because of the 2 hatches there, which, when popped up, would give it Mickey Mouse ears, as the Germans called it. Damage outspotted. T-30 moving ahead here. Looks taking the control in the center. Puma far up north. Can't really respond to this immediate threat from the T-34. And Pico, well, again, in this case, they've gone for Panzerschrecks. You wouldn't be able to deal with that, obviously. So, I mean, you know, shame on me, I guess. But on the other hand, he couldn't deal with the T-70, so it goes a bit up there. And it's here being halted by the Dushka. Penals was flanking in, but still got the Puma there. That is theoretically assist. Plus the Kuhwagen and some Sturmpioneers rushing in. But in this case, it does end up retreating. Got the T-70 rolling northwards. Interesting considering he knows there's a Puma up there which could deal with the T-70. But we've got the T-34 from 6 also moving up there for Desman and the 7th Tank Corps. Protection on the Puma here to ensure it does, or looks Kugelwagen so he doesn't get spotted in a bad position. Take off for 1,000, that's going to be a spare panzer quarters plus a second Kedeneffer. Kugelwagen there takes it from T-34. We've got Panzers moving up there with an anti-tank rifle grenade. We've got the T-34 opening up on the T-70, almost knocking out there with its rockets. Very close there, but he does manage to save it thanks to self-repairs. And up here, Desman is also halted by Fahu's stalwart efforts. We also get a bit of harassment in the north, south. Also important to note here is actually Fahu's overall got a larger force now than Desman, but he's not really, I think, pushed Desman very far back to his place. So, I mean, Fahu could stand to be a bit more aggressive and overall use his vehicles a bit more, well, flexibly at times. We got a Katyusha there for Desman, following up with some rocket artillery and stuff. Not more tanks, but he's actually aiming for rocket launches, in essence. T-Fed was striking there, we got a cannon for hit, we still got the Puma, not really doing much. It's quite interesting to note there again, he's got the Puma, but could be using it more aggressive there versus the enemy tanks. It's sort of holding a bit back here. In the south, there's some harassment going on there from Desman, but it is quickly and brutally halted by Fahu and his jackboot. Quick move here, and there we go. Katyusha rockets out there for Desman. Gunscript taking losses, down to half size. German infantry pushing southwards, but again with the negligible anti-tank support, meaning a T-70 could quickly disrupt it. And the Puma is such in a position it can't, for example, immediately respond to this. It can very well respond to threats in the north, but in the south, it's not really of much use. So, oh, yeah, he needs to do something about that, I think. But still, the Schwer Panther quarter should go up as soon as possible, and then I think he should try and save up for a Panther in this case. Because, I mean, Desman can bring up a lot of tanks, in which case the Panther IV is going to struggle. I mean, it's not like Fahu's been having a huge fuel control there over Desman, some light one, but again, not huge. And especially also considering he went for a Puma and a Lux, which rather means, again, tech-wise, he doesn't really have that much of a lead anyway. So, I think the Panther is going to be what Fahu should be aiming for. Got the T-70 responding, quickly pushes back the Duskan again, there's no anti-tank support. I mean, this Puma, while initially seeing a lot of usage, has rather sort of fallen a bit into disuse and just standing about there like a lawn ornament, which isn't really doing Fahu a lot of favours. Again, he's had a bigger force than Desman, he's just not really been utilising, which overall means, again, Desman, who's been much more aggressive with this smaller force, been able to do a lot more damage, and now we got the Puma responding in here. He's charging into his opponent's base. I think he's going to try and go here for the Katyusha, but it's pretty risky there. It is pretty risky. And there's just another problem here. If he loses the Puma, which he's looking very likely to do, it's not really going to have much to contain the armor, and again, in a flexible and mobile manner. In this case, by the way, they got a bit lucky they didn't get abandoned. They just, nothing knocked it out. But now again, how does he deal with the T-54 and the T-70 again in a manner that is a bit more flexible? It rather means, again, he's suddenly lost his only way of sort of just keeping somehow the field a bit more to himself. Again, containing Desman. Because now, again, he's sort of more locked in, having to rely on the Kedin levels to deal with it. Again, he's got no Panther Shakes either. So that was... I mean, if he really, really wanted it dead, I'd probably suggest he actually use the Lux, creep out with it using cautious movement, and then once he's got a good clear idea of it, he'd just send it in and knock it out. That'd been more, I think, possible to work rather than you sending in his Puma. And again, had he lost the Lux, he'd still be able to deal with the enemy infantry. But again, because he's lost the Puma, he's lost option for dealing with the enemy armor. And there we go again, sharp use of self-repair, and like Kedinvers just can't get it. Sending Kedinvers up here, by the way, small chance. But no, not quite within range there. In the south here, we got him machine gun there as engineers. We got a bit of push there for the fuel there, or victory point. Schwer Panther quarters up there. He should definitely be setting up for the Panther now. I mean, without the Puma, I mean, a Panther 4 would already be a bad idea, but without the Puma, it's definitely really bad because, again, there's going to be nothing to assist the Panther 4 in any sort of useful manner versus, the increasingly large number of tanks Desman can bring to bear on the field. So, Panther, I think, should definitely be Fahu's priority here versus Desman. As for Desman, just bringing up more tanks, he could do with another infantry squad, maybe some more penal troops or just conscripts. Got the Lux rolling ahead here, 6 kills for the fatherland. Again, that one has also been, I think, surprisingly passive there for Fahu. I mean, that's not really been good. Again, he could have been doing a lot more damage to Desman, but ultimately wasn't quite able to leverage it very well due to perhaps a bit too passive play. Manwendorf there, though, getting a few kills. T-54 rolling southwards, close eventually too as well. I mean, in theory, he could go for the Jagdpanzer, but on a map like this, I don't know, without the Puma, I still wouldn't recommend it. I think the Panthers are going to be the best choice here for Fahu. But I mean, the Jagdpanzer would be a better choice than the Panther 4, though. I mean, if he absolutely had to choose, he wasn't feeling under such pressure. I mean, I'd recommend the Jagdpanzer here over the Panther 4. And again, he's up against an opponent who can just swarm his Panther 4 with the T-34s. in that regard, he's going to have to aim for just much superior quality, and that is very much the Panther. Got the T-54 number 2 heading northwards, we have support infantry there. Fahu's got a single cannon for there, we got Katyusha fire here. And we go T-54 ring Hitler Kev for not position deck to deal with it. Got the T-54 going straight for the looks, but active risk losing it. And Fahu ends up going for the Panzer IV. No, Fahu. No. Bad Fahu. Don't go for the Panzer IV. Trying to save the looks here, but it's pretty much a vain effort. Oh, no. Actually, somehow pulled it off. That is incredible. But the Panzer IV's halfway done there for Fahu. We got the T-54 using it, pushing back his infantry there. A kid there for Panzer IV there against it and damaging the engine. Small chance of getting the T-54 if he can keep sort of things going here before he gets hit by the other armour. Ah, sliver of health there, sliver of health, and he's forced to retreat here. Again, this is where the Puma would have been pretty good. Again, yeah, I'm not a fan of this Panzer IV at all. Again, the Panzer IV is very much for the Wehrmacht. If you've got a lead, if you're ahead, if you want to sort of further push it. But if you're behind, and Fahu is now very much behind, the Panzer IV is a not very good choice. I mean, for this Panzer IV to have worked, he should have gone straight for it after the Puma. He should have not gone for looks. He should have just moved straight ahead, gone for the Panzer IV. But instead, again, not only did he go for looks, he threw away his Puma. And now the Panzer IV again is in a rather outnumbered situation, which will only grow worse as Desman continues to bring in T-34s from the 6s. I mean, he could in theory pull it off, but his chances of success have certainly gone down drastically. Of course, this is not the sort of environment the Panzer IV will perform highly in, I think. I mean, he'd have to be a Panzer IV like God, and I've yet to encounter anyone I'd call a Panzer IV God. I mean, they probably exist, but I don't think it's Fahu. Especially not considering how he utilises Puma after the initial moments there. Quick sneak in there with the Puma troops, got the Schwer Panzer Corps opening up. They might lose their machine gun. Looks stealing the troops on the side. Right, sorry about that. Ran out of disk space. Apparently I hadn't cleaned up enough lately. Anyways, T-70 rolling head looks at now actually too, which is something I guess, just not of any use against the T-70. Got a wipe there somewhere. Mine's something exploding there. Up north, Panzer IV holding on a bit. Got a veteran feel like can support it. That's not theoretically bad. He's actually successfully pushing away the T-70 there in the south with his looks, which is a bit weird. T-54 needing repairs. Interesting enough, Desman has more resources for a third T-54, which is yet to aim for. Oh, there we go. Going for the third T-54 76. CoH on there being hit again. Over here, troop ceiling reinforcing. Taking hits there from the T-54 76. Got the Panzer IV moving ahead. Engaging there, the T-34 shot bounced. Taking it down to half health there. Not bad, not bad. Takes a hit there from the mortar. And we got infantry hitting the centre there, a few mines. I mean, Fahu's got a lot of munitions loading, and he's only upgraded one full gun squad so far with the assault rifles. I mean, he could at least lay down a lot more mines to leave that way, you know, make it a bit more difficult for Desman to do anything. Quick grenade and assault rifle fire there at the heavy mortar. Tiny chance of wiping it, but he was actually really close there, but the Katyusha barrage in this case disrupted him. He was actually really close there. Well, there you go, 3rd T-54 up there for Desman, and the 7th Tank Corps bringing up more armour to deal with the fascists. Fahu could also consider maybe using his abilities a bit more, I guess. I mean, he's pretty much only used the Panzer for the doctrines, so in that regard, I mean, it's not that much. I mean, compared to... I mean, it's not like Desman's used a lot either, but he's at least used one thing more than Fahu. 34 Kedner, if they're too far ahead, and that's going to hurt Fahu quite a bit there. Again, no infantry, no real protection, allowing in this case Desman to get overwhelmed. His T-54 or Panzer IV is also in trouble. We've got a T-54 they're pursuing. In the centre there, Fulcher's heavy machine gun, they're dealing with engineers, but well, he has managed to gain most of the map now. He's victory point-wise very lower than Desman, and Desman's all got a larger force now. And he's armor-wise also got a big advantage because he can just keep churning out cheaper tanks. Whereas again, Fahu went for the medium Panzer IV, which can't really challenge all these T-34s very well, rather than the Panther, which could have done so. And he's suddenly giving me some time off from it. I mean, he could in theory go for the Jagdpanzer and supporting a Panther IV. Cut way against all these T-34s. It's just less than confident in Fahu's ability to deal with this. Again, he could also have done more with the Puma, but he just didn't. So I think the Panther should overrule these choices. But I mean, he could go for the Jagdpanzer. He could sort of use it well with the Panther IV and keep them together. He should have a chance of doing some serious damage to Desman's tanks. But really, he's got so much munitions, and he's just not mining down when he has most of the map. That's a definite mistake. And he's got, well, he lost one of the Sturm Pioneer squads, but still, he's got some. And meanwhile, he's bringing up more Kenref, and he does end up going for the Jagdpanzer. I mean, I still would have preferred a Panther here, but obviously, when there's so much threat there, I mean, a Jagdpanzer might help him. But still, there's an increasing number of sort of strategic errors, I think, creeping into Fahu's play here as the fight sort of proceeds, plus some unfortunate tactical mistakes. Up north here, though, a bit of harassment going on. Of course, it's not like Desman is flawless. It's just, in that regard, again, he's just got more to work with. Again, if he loses a tank, it's not a big deal. If Fahu loses a tank, it's a pretty big deal. In the centre, we got troops pushing forward. Almost got the Puma squad. Small wipe there. We got the Desman dealing with the infantry as well. Veteran fleet, 20 kills. Panzer IV pulling back. We got the Puma moving ahead. We got the Luke supporting here, though. Jagdpanzer almost done. Need to allow the Panzer IV shooting infantry. Also not move it while it's shooting to increase its accuracy. In the centre here, troops being annihilated by rocket fire, forced away, and really close there. We got the T-34s breaking through, right through Fahu's centre. There's only spare Panzer IV to hold them. Flotska squad wiped there, and that was probably his most veteran squad there. In the south, Puma was holding, but he did lose a Kenref. You got the Jagdpanzer moving ahead there with his high velocity gun, misses. The T-34s, both of them, or all of them, find that the Schwerpanzer cores. Jagdpanzer misses again because he's keeping, moving it, which decreases its accuracy by about 50%. At least he managed to penetrating hit there on the third try, and there you go. Second shot gets a hit, but he loses the looks in the process. We've got the Panther moving up, getting the T-70, not quite knocking it out there. Need to get his infantry back, and actually needs to push, needs to try and lure the tanks into a trap there. We can then knock them out using his Jagdpanzer. 75 points left here for Fahu, not looking good. He's flooding 500 munitions. Lay down some mines, Fahu. Minen. And Desman has just got so many resources. I mean, he can easily go for a fourth T-34 if he wants to. At which point again, Fahu's going to be struggling dearly. Got another penalty squad there for Desman. Bit of skirmishing up north here. Folks of the penalty punch for the support here. Veteran 4, by the way. That's actually pretty good. And we got the T-34 here, which is even better. We got two of them, in fact. Need to retreat those Panzer Fusiliers. Also need to repair Schwerpanzer quarters, which is actually badly damaged. I mean, he needs to do a lot of things, and he's only got one Sturm Pioneer squad to do all of these things with. You should probably consider the second one. In the south here, another push here. Panzer IV dealing with a lot of the troops. Oh, satchel charge goes off there, damaging the Panzer IV critically. I mean, that's the thing. If you throw a satchel charge at the right place in the tank land road, so it will immediately detonate the satchel charge. In that regard, satchel charges can serve as anti-tank weapons. Have quite a lot more skill. But, yeah, he lost the Schwerpanzer quarters. They're preventing Fahu now from getting any more armor to support besides the King Tiger or Jagdtiger, or to prevent him from getting Obersoldaten. So, Fahu there, should have repaired it, didn't. He should also lay down a lot of mines. He didn't. Now he's got a ton of munitions, not really doing anything, when he really should be using a lot of mines. So that way, try and slow down Desman's tank assaults, because if we at least catch him with some mines, he can make them a lot easier for his Jagdpanzer to deal with, and for that matter, his Panzer IV. Panzer IV, they're being repaired by the repair pioneers. Moving ahead here towards the centre. Kenref in the south. Sturm Pioneers retreating, having suffered quite a beating in the hands of Desman and the 7th Tank Corps. I mean, he might also just go for, say, a Puma or some Stuka der Fusses. In which case, I'd probably recommend a Puma, maybe supported by Lux. That way, build up at least some kind of numbers, and that way, try and deal with them. We got the Volks moving ahead here, supported by the heavy machine gun Kenref. They can engage the T-34, but misses. Falls out in the open easy targets. There we go, gets hit with the Yak Panzer, closing in veterans 1 up north. Panzer is moving ahead by the easy targets to the T-70. Fahu forsaken. I mean, he's giving Desman certainly a lot of trouble, but Desman has already been rather thinking the nadir after again that initial bit there with the first Puma and looks to sort of really pushing back Desman, and Fahu just he lost his veteran 5 Panzer Fusiliers. That is a critical blow there to Fahu, critical blow. At this point, Desman's just got so many resources plus so many tanks, and he loses some, he can just quickly replace them. And again, Fahu is very much in the situation he can't replace his tanks. We got an artillery strike called in here, assault artillery. Yak Panzer they're closing in veterans 1. But a lot of infantry lost there for Fahu. Still on Pioneer with Panzer IV support hitting northwards. Now the Panzer for squad there for Fahu trying to fill out the ranks. Panzer IV going after the T-34, might get a hit there, but where's the Yak Panzer support? He ramps! Abandoned. Need to finish it off, he needs to get the Yak Panzer up there fast enough. Vechi 2 gain for the Panzer IV, that is good. T-34 recruit there. Panzer IV needs to be careful not to get too close. Veterans 1 game for the Yak Panzer. T-34 is getting off a penetrating hit, and the Panzer IV down to less than half health. Blitzkrieging out of their Panzer IV, and one of the T-34's Panzer IV trying to desperately escape. The other one needs to get the full scope. They're trying to damage the engine of the Panzer or T-34. Almost getting the other T-34 there. Low health on the Panzer IV. Shot bounced. No, don't let it get close, Fahu. Don't let it get close. It increases the penetration and it gets a hit there. Had he tried to keep it a distance there, had he tried to keep distance, that Panzer IV might have survived, but he allowed the T-34 to get close. And remember, armor in Companies 2 works a bit on a range basis. The closer you get, the more your armor is negated, which means the Germans versus the Soviets, you always want to keep them at arm's length, because otherwise their penetration goes up. And again, you're very much relying on armor. So right there we got a veteran 3 T-34 there, murdering Fahu's remaining troops, annihilating his last full Scandinavian squad. We can see Fahu's now going for Pumas, but he's in a very sore spot here. Very sore spot. I mean, really, that was a critical judgment of area there. Perhaps there's just too much going on for Fahu, but he just lost that Vechi 2 Panzer IV, which probably could have survived again had he just made some distance there. And now Desman is just securing most of the map here from Fahu. He's going for another Puma, which he probably should have had at least out sooner, so at least that way could have supported the Panzer IV and the Yak Panzer, in which case, again, that engagement could have looked a lot different. He's got a veterans who won Yak Panzer, but that's about it. Puma there ramming for Fahu. Medics down to the Katyusha rockets. Points being secured. 43 points left here for Fahu. Yak Panzer being repaired. Puma rolling ahead here. I think he's going to go for the Katyusha again, taking hits from like Kednefer. Very likely to lose the Puma to this, but no, in this case, managed to drive right past it. Again, he wants vengeance. He really wants that Katyusha dead. He really wants it dead. And he's willing to throw away, I think, a lot there for it. There you go, almost got it. Got a T-7 moving in, there we go. Finally gets the Katyusha. Cause for so much grief there for Fahu. But the T-7 Vechi 3 is just murdering the Puma. And there you go, completely wrecks it. Got the Yak Panzer rolling ahead here. Oh, we got another T-34 there, but Fahu seems intent on throwing away his Yak Panzer as well to get the T-70. I think he's just given up. He just wants to destroy those menaces, those that caused him so much grief. So at least that way he can feel some kind of satisfaction. Because honestly, otherwise his actions do not make an awful lot of sense. Not that they're making a lot of sense, but you know. There you go, got the veteran 3 T-70s calling in a lot of Panzer Fusiliers. We got another T-34 on the way. These Yak Panzers close to veteran 2. Desman is just securing most of the map here from Fahu. He's down to 33 points. These guys' opponent down to 301. 300 points. And they just hold it right there at 300. More Panzer Fusiliers there for Desman. Oh, not Desman, Fahu. At this point, they're not going to do much. I mean, Zanktimanchi gained the heavy machine gun. He lost to Fahu in the early game. His Yak Panzer's doing nothing. Satchel charge there around his battle group headquarters. Kuban being run off. Panzerfleet squad annihilated. 29 points left. T-54 rolling in. Yak Panzer's just forgotten there by Fahu. Lost the Kuban there, finally lost it. Another T-54 there for Desman. Another one. Yak Panzer finally on the move here. There we go, got a hit close to 2. There we go. Schützen at it. T-54 there, using the terrain to make it harder here for Fahu to utilise his Yak Panzer efficiently. 12 points left here. 9. 6. And there goes, gonna ram it. And with that, GG, game over. Victory for Desman, a loss for Fahu. Again, it sort of initially struggled a bit. The match came around there again thanks to the light vehicles, but ultimately failed, I think, to utilise his resources efficiently again. Failed to get his focus upgrading time, failed to utilise enough might. I mean, in the early game, great, but just mid-game, there was nothing when he actually had the map advantage. Plus, he was much too passive with a lot of his light vehicles. Didn't try to push for any kills against Desman while he could have. Then sort of followed up into Schwer Panzer quarters where he then didn't push for a Panther when he really should have. The Panzer IV ended up, I think, costing Fahu a lot there. So there were some, I think, critical tactical and strategic mistakes which allowed Desman sort of just thrive and overall just overwhelm in the long run with the, T-34s. And again, throwing away that Puma there to get that Katyusha, that was a bad idea. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay or provide some feedback in the comment section. If this is Imperial Linking, cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another shining episode. Cheers.